So I was about to just head back home right now, right after recording one video. And I decided I would shoot another one because I had kind of like a realization, a lesson that I wanted to share here with you about my situation. So if you watched the video from yesterday, you probably saw the situation that I had while I was here. All of a sudden, I just hear these wolves, right? So I instantly get my heart rate up and I'm feeling really nervous, but I'm able to calm it down through the breath, okay? That was yesterday's video. But what I want to talk about here is the fact that I was able to adapt to the situation. Now, what do I mean? I don't mean specifically that I was able to adapt to the fact that I could overcome this fear, because that was yesterday's video. But what I specifically mean is that this was unexpected. To have something such as wolves or anything else was totally unexpected. I was not anticipating when I was to come here that something like that would happen. All I was anticipating was I was going to come here, shoot a video, and then leave. So that was totally unexpected. And because of that, I almost chose not to record at all, right? Besides the point of the fear, okay? I almost decided not to shoot it because of the fact that I wasn't anticipating it, meaning it was unexpected. And because it was unexpected, it meant that my plans were basically foiled, right? It basically meant that I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. I can't make it work. Let me just leave. Then I said, okay, hold on. Can I adapt to this situation? Can I just see, like, is it possible to still do it and just shift things around? And I did. First, I allowed myself a little bit of time from when the situation happened to calm down. I moved around, went to a different area, then came back. And then from that point, I was able to carry on. I was able to then shoot a video like I had anticipated. I didn't allow the unexpected plans to ruin what I had prepared for myself. I decided that I just needed to give myself a little bit of time and switch things around. Now again, the situation that I had is probably not anything close to what usually happens, right? You don't typically come across wolves in your day, but there are plans that typically will go as unexpected, right? You have some sort of idea in your mind of how things are supposed to go, and when they don't go according to plan, how do you feel? Right? When things don't go according to plan, how do you feel? You feel like you're like, man, like that didn't work out. You feel like, I don't know what to do now. Or you could feel even more upset than that. Honestly, that's kind of more like, oh well, like a passive mode. But sometimes you could actually get like aggressive and be like, man, this guy was supposed to show up and he didn't show up and it pissed me off. And then you get angry, right? Those kind of things can happen too. There could be multiple situations that have happened to you, and when they don't go according to plan, you take it to heart. But you don't have to do that. That's a choice. It may be a habitual choice, meaning that you're not actually thinking about it, it just happens. Somebody does something and they wrong you. You feel upset by that, rightly so, but you may not know everything about the situation, right? Now, you may know everything about the situation, but oftentimes we don't, and we just jump to conclusions. And so when there is a plan that has been kind of ruined, how do you get back on track? How do you make the most of the situation is really the point. How do you make the most of a situation that doesn't go right? Well, first of all, it's to recognize that this will happen. It will happen. You don't know when, you don't know how, you don't know by who. Like I didn't know it was going to be because of wolves, right? You don't know what's going to happen, but what you do know is that when it does happen, you need to be ready for it. So how do you adapt to the situation? The first thing is by changing your mindset about it and realizing that it's outside of your control. And so because of that, you shouldn't take that to heart. You shouldn't judge yourself based on it. You shouldn't say like, oh, like this is, I should have done something different. Like, oh, if only, like, for example, I could say like, oh, if only I came like 10 minutes later or came 10 minutes earlier, then this wouldn't have happened. You don't know that because you don't know what else could have happened. You have no control over these other things. But again, you have control over what it means to you. So what do you do about it? What do you do about the situation? That's where you give yourself power. That's where you give yourself the control. Again, you don't get the control from these external circumstances, but you get to control it by just changing what you think about. What do you say to yourself? What is the story that you say to yourself? So it just made me realize, like, I have control over this. I have control over the fact that I'm still here to do what I planned on doing. I do the same routine each day. I come here, I shoot a video, I enjoy the process, and then I continue on with my day. It's enjoyable. But that situation that happened threw me off at first. But I didn't allow it to continue. I didn't allow it to take me off completely, and that's why I'm shooting this video now. Because this was part of my plan. So I got back on track. And you could do the same thing with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Something is outside of your control. Somebody ruins your plans, probably not even meaning to, right? It's just that they have conflicting plans of their own. It's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's just the circumstance that you found yourself in. So what do you do about the situation? That's what you need to figure out. What are you going to do about it now? Not, I wish it happened a certain way. Now, I wish this didn't happen. Why does this always happen? These are not good questions to ask yourself, because all they're going to do is make you feel worse, because you're focusing on the thing you can't control. Instead, you ask yourself, how can I use this? How can I adapt to this situation? How can I learn from this experience? Those are better questions to ask yourself. And when you do that, you're empowered. So I hope this lesson was helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next one.